Hi, and welcome back to the Spookins channel, a place for us to speak about all things horror. I'm Sarah,
I'm Sam.
and today we're going to be looking at the new trailer for 28 Years Later, which dropped yesterday when we are recording this. Whether we upload it is a different matter, but it was yesterday when we filmed it. We had loads of support for the Megan trailer reaction, so we thought we would give you another one. Should we dive right in?
Yeah.
There's not really much else to
Let's
say.
do.
Okay, let's go.
Ready. Okay, then. That.
So many dead. Infected and non-infected alike.
That's why our home is so precious.
You know, I feel he's a bit young.
He's ready, Jenny.
7, 6, 11, 5,
Once you walk onto that mainland, there's no rescues.
moving up and down again. Don't. Look at what's in front of you.
Let's go!
Count the bullets in the bandoliers.
There are many kinds of death. And some are better than others.
Like that sounds like I'm example it was Cillian Murphy.
For this is a glorious day. A day of judgment. My children!
Oh,
There's no discharge in the war.
20th of June.
nice. I had intended to pause that and speak as we were watching it, but I was just enjoying
Just a bit
watching it,
invested
to be
there.
honest.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, that was the same kind of information, I think.
Yeah, but it's like I liked this one in that it, like, with the same kind of soundtrack backing it, but really different vibe to the first trailer. This one was like much more kind of like the actiony side of it and being like, oh, this is that side that we had before.
Yeah.
Whereas the first trailer was actually, it felt like a horror movie trailer.
Yeah.
This was somewhere between like a horror action trailer. But yeah, getting that with the same sort of cutting style and
Yeah.
things is pretty
Editing
impressive.
is important.
Yeah, that's good.
I think this trailer, it feels a lot more like 28 Days Later. I don't know, watching the other trailers, I felt a bit like, oh, I'm not sure, like, if it's gonna feel like a 28 days, months, weeks, years, etc.
Yeah.
kind of movie. But this has kind of brought me back to thinking, okay, this might actually be like 28 Days Later. With that editing, there was a bit with am I going to be able to find it again? Probably not, because it was a very quick flash, so I'm just going to tell you what I mean. When it flashed up the zombies and they played like a sound and it was a really quick flash. That's like reminds me of the editing in the first film. And then looking back at this, like they've, in the first one, they've got the really big fire and it looks like obviously we're going to get one here. I think it's a gas or a petrol station. It's a petrol station in the first one, or like a shop or something like that.
Yeah.
I think it is a petrol station. And then I was thinking that the Ralph Fiennes character seems like it's going to be a bit like the Christopher Eccleston character in the first film. Also, solid bit of casting. I love Ralph
Ray Fiennes is great. Yeah, he's just such a like steady hand in acting. Like want a character done right, you kind of know you can give it to Ray Fiennes, and he's gonna
Yeah,
deliver.
exactly. I think that he's going to be fantastic, and I do think he's going to be. I think it's going to go back to that kind of vibe of the first movie, which the first half of the film is a zombie street zombie apocalypse movie, and then the second half is actually trying to survive the other survivors,
Yeah.
which I think this is going to lean a lot more into.
Yeah, and I think the 28 later franchise kind of needs that as well. I think it relies a lot on that to kind of differentiate it from other zombie media.
Yeah, definitely. So the foundations are there in 28 days for 28 years to then be about actually surviving the other people that have survived it. What kind of he had interesting. I should have made a note of the time sequence, time whatever. He has pretty cool markings on him, like it's gonna be a cult kind of thing, which I like. Again, it feels like a natural escalation of 28 days later.
Yeah.
I do like 28 weeks later, but for the purposes of this trailer, it doesn't really fit as well.
Yeah, no, you're right in that it feels more like days.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you're also like, I agree with the sentiment that this feels more like a 28 whatever's later movie as well. Like I think the original one, the first trailer we got, kind of made it seem like we were going to spend a lot of time and it was going to be like the rebuilding on the island and stuff, and then we might not get too much actual zombie stuff.
Yeah.
But this one is like they're going to the mainland for a mission.
Yeah.
I most likely collect valuables or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they do.
Get the MacGuffin.
So yeah, that's a bit exciting because I was worried there was going to be a lack of zombies in this zombie movie.
Yeah. Apart from the one that looks like everyone thought
Yeah.
was Cillian Murphy.
Rising from the grass.
Not Cillian
cornfields.
Murphy, and I'm sure he's absolutely horrified that everyone
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, it looks good. It's kind of like a Quiet Place kind of vibes as well.
Yeah.
It reminded me a bit of, although I didn't love A Quiet Place 2, I liked the idea of A Quiet Place 2, which has also got Cillian Murphy in it.
It has indeed.
Yeah.
Well, this one doesn't.
No, this one doesn't. It's just all connected. Also, please correct me on the pronunciation if I got that wrong. I think it's Cillian Murphy, rather than Cillian Murphy.
Yeah, Cillian sounds like.
I've always said Cillian, but I
Yeah.
could have always been wrong, so who knows? Anyway, yeah, it's giving me kind of A Quiet Place 2 vibes, but then a Quiet Place 2 gave me 28 Days Later vibes. So yeah, they're all connected and coming round full circle, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to this movie. And the bit that got me excited, and you probably saw it in my face, and I turned to Sam and was like, "Oh," is this bit right here.
Glorious day. Day of judgment. My children!
There's no
Because I think that's such an iconic scene in the original movie, 28 Days Later, when he goes into the church and he thinks that everyone, I don't know if he thinks that everyone's just asleep or something. He's like, hello. And then the priest comes out and runs at him all zombie. He's like, Father, Father. I'm not going to do the accent. Not looking to get bullied today. But it's just such an iconic scene in the first film, and there's just so many homages to the first film in this trailer that I really like.
A lot of rather of the moment, a lot of Easter eggs.
Yes. Like when we watched the Final Destination trailer and we were like, oh, that's from that one, that's from that one. It's kind of like that. It's calling back. They're bringing back this franchise after a really long time, similarly to Final Destination. Although I think 28 weeks later, the gap between weeks and years is bigger than Final Destination 5 and 6.
I would have thought so.
I would have thought so.
Yeah.
Because that had Imogen Poots in it when she was like early career, and she's like
Not early career anymore.
Not early career
No.
anymore. I do love Imogen Poots though. She's in also Chat Room, which has also got Aaron Taylor Johnson
There
in
we
it.
go,
Oh my
everything.
gosh,
There's only
everything is
6
connected.
actors in existence in the current day.
In Britain, apparently. You've got Ray Fiennes, who's in literally everything. Aaron Taylor Johnson, who again is
He's
in
in literally
everything.
everything, Is Jodie Comer's in this? Was she in that trailer?
I don't
I don't remember
know.
seeing.
She's not in the. She's not front and center of the promotional materials if she is in this
I'm
movie.
sure I saw her name when she's building this.
Um,
I'm sure she's building this.
I'm not sure. Couldn't tell you. We won't have a cast list on there.
Yeah, Jodie
Oh,
Comer.
yeah,
She's
it
the first
does.
name on there.
She's the first name,
Yeah.
and I don't know that
I'm not sure she was
that
in the trailer. She probably was. She probably flashed up, but
Yeah, she probably did. I reckon she's.
maybe give her a bit more screen time. Who
Yeah,
knows?
maybe she's a fantastic actress. So please do. She's probably Aaron Taylor Johnson and Jodie Comer are the parents
Yeah,
of this small
most likely.
child, and I like that dynamic as well because that goes back to the first film of having Cillian Murphy and Naomi Harris being like the parental figures of Hannah, the child, who I can't remember her name. It's gone, the actor's name.
Yeah.
And I think the child is called Hannah. It goes back to that kind of scenario as well. Like, obviously she has her dad in the film, and then, I guess, spoiler alert for 28 Days Later, a crow bleeds in his eye
Does
and he
indeed.
turns into
Yeah.
a zombie.
Yeah.
And then they take on that parental figure. So we're bringing that back for this. Children are really at the center of the 28X Later franchise, aren't they?
Yeah. This also feels like, whilst it's obvious, it's like a family thing. Like everyone has family, so it's a pretty obvious thing to do. But the like father-son dynamic is massive, obviously, in The Walking Dead too.
Oh, is it?
With Rick and Carl. So I wonder if that's influenced it a little
Inspired.
bit and just kind of
Yeah.
been like, because people really enjoyed that kind of like watching Carl grow up, watching the son like grow up in such a like a derelict and kind of
Yeah.
nasty world.
Yeah.
And yeah, you get that theme of like parenthood and things in these dystopian type movies.
Like A Quiet Place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
are it's just a really good way of portraying like parental themes, isn't it?
Yeah, and I guess as well it's like new life and the promise of new life in a dystopia. Humanity goes on and continues to survive even in the most dire of situations and change, and it also gives the characters a really big motivation for surviving and bringing the world back
For winning, yeah.
for their children. And yeah, the 28X Later, I guess I'll call it, franchise has always had children at the center of it.
Yeah.
So you had Hannah in the first one, and then the second one, the main characters are the Robert Carlyle's children. I'm gonna go slightly off tangent and throw it out there
Please
that
do.
in 28 Weeks Later, I don't think Robert Carlyle did anything wrong in the beginning. Just saying, if we were overrun by zombies and I looked up at a window and I saw you were alive, but there were so many zombies, I'm gone.
I'm out. Yeah,
I'm gone.
I'm not judging you for that. I don't think. If I look out and I see you, and you're like looking, and there's zombies everywhere, I'm gonna be like, yeah, no.
Why do we both have
Save
to die?
yourself,
Yeah, why
yeah.
do we both have to die?
No, we don't.
No, we absolutely don't.
Yeah, justice for Robert.
Yeah, justice for Robert Carlyle. Anyway, back to 28 years later. I wonder if Aaron Taylor Johnson will have to make a similar decision.
Maybe. Maybe that's why Jodie Comer's not in it.
Maybe she's the opening.
She's the woman in the window.
Yeah, she is the woman in the window, maybe. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this film. I'm so unsure what the tone is going to be because, like you say, one trailer has suggested action zombie movie. This one has suggested more original 28 Days Later vibes, and I hope it falls somewhere in between because I really like the original vibes of 28 Days Later. It's like very British. Do you know what I mean?
It's like zombie movie. First two acts zombie movie, and then like the third act is like an action
Like the military
film. The
stuff.
military,
Yeah. And I just think the first one has such a good vibe because it was. I don't know what the budget was for the first one, but it gives off kind of low budget indie vibes, and it just captures. It captures Britain so well because that's what it looks like anyway. If you aren't British.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It just gives. I just probably because we are British. I just enjoy that so much. And it's a really good movie. And obviously, I understand it has to move on from that. It can't stay small and isolated, etc. But I hope it maintains some of the essence of the first one.
Yeah, I do wonder how it's going to kind of feel with us now because we are used to this franchise, and then being able to be like, oh, I've been there.
Yeah.
Oh, I know that.
I know where that is. I know that motorway.
To being now on this random island.
But I guess that will bring back the isolated feel.
Yeah, of course.
I suppose because for the first two, I guess this Weeks is set in like Canary Wharf or Isle of Dogs or something like that, and it's set in London.
Yeah.
But it doesn't use it as much.
It doesn't need to be. Yeah.
No, the first one is London and then Manchester North. They go on the M6. They're going up north.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's in Manchester, the military house. And it's just, this is going to be completely unrecognizable. But it will have that isolation feeling because obviously it's an island and they've picked an isolated place on purpose because of zombies. But I wonder as well how different it will be made and how they'll approach it differently after kind of the whole world went through isolation and went through lockdowns and things like that. I wonder if that will change the approach now that the idea of isolating yourself, obviously a zombie apocalypse didn't happen, but the idea of isolating yourself is
like
not
no longer alien to us.
No longer alien to us. It's not a million miles away to imagine what it would be like to have.
You can actually pull on people's personal experience of similar situations. now.
Having to like lock yourself down and sort of like, you know what I mean? It's not a million miles away. Not to say obviously that 2020 was like a zombie apocalypse, but it was a virus, you know.
Yeah, and the streets on occasion would have given you the vibe at least.
Oh yeah, man. Where I lived, it was there was just no one around. The streets were always abandoned.
Yeah.
Even the high street, I lived on a high street and there was no one.
Yeah, it was weird.
And I would go for walks in the Lee Valley and there would be nobody there. And it was so scary. It was mad. But yeah, I wonder how that perspective will change. Not only how they've made it and the decisions they've made, but how the audience receives it. Because like I say, it's not that alien to us anymore. So I don't know. That's a very tangent thought. I don't really know where I'm going with that, but it's just interesting to see how that impacts. Because I don't think we've had a really big zombie release since 2020. I don't think so.
There's been a few like indie ones, but
I could be wrong there.
Nothing large scale. Like
obviously, I know
like this,
zombie movies have been made in 2020, but what I mean is like big scale like this. 20, and it's always really. This is another tangent point. Really strange to me that this is getting such a big cinematic release because 28 Days Later to me is like this kind of niche independent horror film.
I didn't realize the scale of the fan base for this franchise until that first trailer absolutely blew up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was like, what is going on? I thought we were going to be the only two people excited for this movie.
Yeah, like I've never encountered anyone that I know, apart from like my sister, who obviously showed me this film, or not this film, but 28 Days Later. I don't know that many people that are big fans of 28 Days Later. So whilst I'm very happy, I'm just also like, oh, I didn't realize, like to me, 28 days later is very niche and indie,
Yeah.
and not something that's going to get a huge release in the cinema.
Yeah, it has been strange to see.
Yeah, but also I was only, I don't know, like 8 or 9 when the original came out, so
Yeah.
I don't know what the release was like for it back in there.
Yeah, and it's long before, like, don't know, like it's never had a spotlight since social media and everything's been a
No,
thing, so
it's
it wouldn't have been
actually
spoken about because it wasn't new
no,
or relevant.
and it's
like,
actually really hard to watch 28 Days Later. It might not be soon or now, but it's not. It wasn't, and it might be now.
Yeah.
It wasn't on streaming.
not in the UK.
Not in the
anyway, no.
UK. It wasn't on streaming. It went out of, like, I don't know how DVDs go out of circulation, but like it went out of circulation.
Yeah,
So it
shops
was
don't have them,
really
yeah.
hard to watch 28 Days Later. I've got it on DVD and I've had it on DVD since I was about 10. So I've been able to watch it whenever I want. But I've never seen it in a shop. I've never seen it on a streamer. Obviously, I think that will have already changed or is going to change with 28 years coming out. 28 Weeks is much more accessible. We watched that recently, didn't we? On a streamer.
On a stream. Yeah.
But
One
yeah,
of them.
it's just an entirely different world, isn't it? For 28 years later coming out from 28 days later. Because it's almost 28 years. It's not quite 28 years since 28 Days came out. But it's not far off. So it's an entirely different world, isn't
Yeah,
it?
absolutely.
Like
yeah.
say I was 8 or 9 when 28 Days came out, and I'm 30 now, so it's not been 28 years, I don't think. But
No, it's not that
no,
close.
maths. But yeah, it's just an entirely different world, and it'd be interesting to see what they do with that, basically.
Yeah, but I hope it's really good.
I hope it's really good.
ATJ, as much as I love him, has had a few misses recently.
Look,
The last few things I've seen him in have not been great.
I love him and I will love him until the day I die. And so I won't hear this. I don't think I've seen him be bad in anything. He's great in Chat Room. He's great in Bullet Train.
He's great in Bullet Train.
He's great. I rewatched with my friends Angus Songs and Perfect Snogging.
Okay.
And he's excellent in that as well.
The last thing we watched him in, you agreed he wasn't very good at it.
What was it?
You said he kept taking you out of it.
What was that?
Was it Nosferatu? Was he in Nosferatu?
Oh yeah, he
Yeah.
was in Nosferatu. All right.
He was banned in Nosferatu.
I'll concede.
I haven't seen Craven, and there's a reason for that.
I think with Nosferatu, it's not that he was bad. It's just there's something about him that took me out. I was like, this man. I watched a video. I can't remember where when it was, but they were talking about a period piece, and they said this actor knows what an iPhone is. And I've never been able to get that out of my head when watching a period piece. And when I was watching Nosferatu, I was like, this man
knows what an iPhone
he
is.
knows what an iPhone is.
Yeah.
I don't believe that this character doesn't know what an iPhone is.
Yeah, fair.
I can't remember who said it. If I can remember, I'll put it in the description, because obviously credit to them, because it's stuck with me ever since I watched that video. It was probably Dead Meat. Let's face it, I watch a lot of them. But I'll put it in the description if I remember who it was. I think that's all I really want to say about it. Is there anything else you want to say?
No.
I don't feel like we actually talked about the film.
We haven't seen it.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. I'm really excited for this.
I am too.
Definitely going to see it. When does it come out? 20th
of June.
Oh, I
Or
thought
American dates.
no, I thought that just said 6/2025, as in
Okay.
June 2025.
No, 20th of
So
June.
20th of June
Yeah.
2025. That always baffles me. My brain simply cannot comprehend American dates. I'm like, there's not 20 months. So I think we'll probably do a review as well
Oh, for
when
sure.
it comes
Yeah.
out. We haven't
Yeah,
done a review in a
absolutely we will.
while. I think our last review was Presents, but I don't think we've seen anything
we
that
haven't
I've
really seen
wanted to review.
I haven't seen really any big release. There haven't been any big horror releases, really.
I mean, we've seen them, but we've not loved them, and we haven't had enough to say
Yeah.
on them.
Yeah, we don't just want to make reviews for the sake of making reviews.
Yeah,
We want to. If we make a review, it's because we feel like we've got something.
There's a lot to
that's
say
genuinely...
about it. So hopefully we'll review this because I have a lot to say about the 28 franchise, and I feel like that's going to continue with this film. So we'll probably post a review when it comes out. So look out for that.
Stick around for it. What you could do if you want to see that, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, do that thing, stick that little like button as well. Makes that noise.
Got
It
him.
might not, but maybe,
Get it. No,
Maybe.
I don't know if it does or
Yeah,
not.
if it doesn't, come back to this bit and then click it as I go. There you go.
Exactly. You make the noise if
Yeah.
it doesn't. Yeah. Cool. So thank you for watching this trailer reaction. We hope you like it. Like, subscribe, comment, etc., etc. Let us know if there's any other movie trailers you want us to look at,
Yeah,
or
please do.
any films you want us to review, or anything like that. In the comments below, it'd be really good to hear your thoughts. But for now, that's all from us. So thank you very much.
Happy Easter if you're celebrating.
Yeah, it's Easter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And have a lovely weekend if you're not.
Yes. Yeah. Bye.
Ta-ra.